The Upland Podcast with the property expert. If it's happening in Upland, it's the place you want to check first. With your host, too stupid to win, and ThankMeLater. Bringing the strategy, news, and cool charts with all the data. This is Upland, where the metaverse goes down. Genesis, San Fran, Rio, and all around. Don't miss a week, you never know what they'll say next. It's the Upland Property Xperts, baby, UPX.
What's going on, fellow Uplanders, and welcome to episode 179 of the Upland Property Experts. I'm your host, Too Stupid to Win, and as always, I'm joined by ThankMeLater. How are we doing this evening, brother?
I am doing great.
So much going on this week. I don't know if Upland got bored, but they did drop a bunch of news on us from our last show last Thursday till today. A lot of stuff to cover. And then I did do something new, something I've been meaning to do. And on Tuesday, I did a recap of how I performed, my portfolio in Upland performed in March. And somebody started talking about, basically selling the properties and you're not getting full value for your dollar. If you put $1 in, it's usually going to be 48 cents out. And started to make cases, and I had a real good discussion with that viewer, and I appreciate dialogue like that. He never got mean with me. I never got mean with them. We were just talking about our points, but then that made me look into something. So I got some stats that will actually blow your mind. I was actually shocked when I looked into it myself.
You heard it here. Shocking facts that'll blow your mind.
Thank you.
Hey, that's the title of the show.
Shocking
facts that'll blow your mind.
I have to write that down, or I will forget by the end of the. Down. By the end, we say so much stupid stuff.
Comment the name of the show gets a test tube statue. Go.
Oh, nice! Look at that. Since last show, we had a Block Explorer sale for the Blossom season, an Easter egg hunt, Master Builders Phase 3. Manguera wearable sales, map asset manufacturing, ultra rare property giveaways, quarter 2 map Upland update, and exhibits at Genesis Week.
Can't wait.
Yeah, a lot going on. And we still have, I got.
Oh, wait. Yes, Chicago Spartan. Good job, Jimmy Jester. That's funny, though. Chicago Spartan.
Jimmy Jester, I'll give an OG Amble to.
Dang. How you going to updo me like that? Chicago Spartan, offer any test tube over mint 60. If you have a different in-game name, let me know.
Jimmy Jester, OG Amble, any mint over 60. Let me know your in-game name. Yeah, I did like that he went with, he even got episode 179. And
I didn't even know what episode it was, even though you literally just said it.
Well, also what we do have going on, I didn't advertise it too well other than on the podcast last week, is buy one, get one free for the first 15 people to buy an OG Amble. Also, first 2 to buy one, get one free, also earn an a test tube. Yeah, nobody bought one in the last week.
What?
So
I thought NFT Architect was going to buy one.
Nobody's bought one yet.
Oh, he asked about it.
So first 2 people to buy an OG Anvil gets an additional OG Anvil, and
so it's like buy one get 2 free.
2 free. Yeah,
that's insane.
Jimmy Jester, I got to write stuff down. I need a scribe on the show to just hang out backstage and take notes for me. So, but if you did not catch my update for the March performance, go check that out. It was about a 20-minute video, so it won't take up too much of your time. I did answer some people's questions and some thoughts. I'm still working towards 1 million UpX earnings a month in property earnings. I did earn over 1 million UpX last month, and that was from my sends. I was disappointed. I did throw it out to you last minute, and you already had plans when I was streaming, but I wanted to talk about the sends revenue of, I earned over 130,000 UpX in sends alone last month.
What?
Yes.
That's freaking crazy. That's such a bigger economy than I would have expected.
And I have everything set at the minimum.
I mean, that's the way to do it. I mean, we have the data. We have very clear data that not pricing at the minimum will just drastically reduce your profits, because most of the active treasure hunters use overlays and know where the cheap properties are, or are doing the casual ones. So they'll check. And if you're not the lowest, they're not going to send to you. So
And some people have the overlays on their computer. If they're treasure hunting on their computer, they do the pop-up and it just shows them the cheap ones. So they're not even checking. They just use the overlay.
Yep. So do yourself a favor, set your send fees to a minimum. Not only will it make you look very nice and friendly, it'll actually make you more money. So even if you're mean and greedy, the way to be greedy is actually the lowest send fee, because that makes you the most money. That's all I'm saying.
And speaking of treasure hunters, I might have a top 5 treasure hunter joining the show next week as a special guest.
Ooh.
Somebody we haven't had on. So,
oh, dang.
Somebody that didn't even hear of the show till I reached out to them to ask if they were interested in coming on and sharing their treasure hunting stories.
Oh, I feel like I should know who this is. I'm sure I do. Like, I'm sure when you say the name, I'll be like, oh, yeah. I know who that is.
I'm keeping you in suspense. I just want to make sure it's verified. You know, they said that they were good for next week. I said, I'll put it on the books. I'm just waiting for the reply for the confirmation. And then I'll send out the tweet. I will actually get on Twitter this week and send out some tweets about the show upcoming and our special guest. Excited for that. And then, yeah, got a lot going on. So, and then got an UpX World update, and yeah, excited. And we still have Chokes for Charity going on. I have not checked it, but yes, I will put the links in the description down below for this video too, where you can donate for Chokes for Charity. If we raise $25,000 for Tap Out Cancer, ThankMeLater will get choked out by the Hyde Park Ninjas. And then if we raise an additional $25,000, I'll get choked out by the Hyde Park Ninjas, and that will go to the Stop Soldier Suicide charity. And any money we do raise will go to those charities, even if we don't hit our goals. So anything we do raise will go there. You might not see us choked out, but at least we're raising money for charity.
Sure. Are we making t-shirts?
Yes, and I have to get a website up and running. I do have the domain for us, but since we're not monetized on YouTube, we can't have a store on YouTube, so we have to run it off of a website. So we have to do drop ship stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I want to set up. I got a couple ideas for t-shirts, even for, I think if we can set it up, I'd like to get some Genesis shirts made, like just for Vegas for people to buy and then be able to have there.
Yes.
But we need to set up a merch store, and with conjunction of UpX World. I got a lot of things that we want to do that. If you have any experience setting up a merch store, slide into our DMs.
My neighbor does, so I'm supposed to meet with her so she's supposed to help us out. Not like that.
I didn't say nothing.
Paul, it just makes so much more work when we bring this up. Steven Seagal chokeout, where just let it lie dormant.
Oh no. No.
Let it lie dormant.
Y'all are the worst.
All right, let's get into the show though. All right, for this week's market update for April 13th, 2023. Moving right along. We are less than 2 months to Vegas, by the way. Vegas will be over 2 months from now.
That's so crazy.
Yes. Oh, and speaking of Vegas, I think we're going to do our show from Upland Studio in Las Vegas again. Yep. And then after that, I think, I forget, somebody else is renting a cabana there at the Sahara, and then we're going to do some live streams with the Upland Racing League. So we'll have a couple of streams on our normal show day. We won't be broadcasting at normal time during Genesis week, but yeah. So And then a lot of live streams going on between myself and ThankMeLater, so it will be good.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be awesome. Chicago, I got you, brother.
Jimmy Jester, I'll get you after the show. So top 10 city floors in Upland over the past week. Actually, the US dollar's pretty green this week.
Yeah,
Positive
I mean,
signs.
I like that. Dallas and Bronx, both solid bounce.
Kansas City cracks the top 10. They moved up 3 spots this week. They're the only city that is not 10,000 UpX or more floor price
In the top 10.
in the top 10. Yes.
Yeah.
And then Dallas and the Bronx jumped up 28% and 24.5% respectively, $6.79 each.
Respectable.
Yeah. Now, I'm just going to get this out of the way because I figure we'll talk about it. Sorry for the bad graphic. I was actually finishing, and that's why we were late going on the show. We were a couple minutes late starting the podcast this week. But as I was talking about, the individual was talking about, the cities they have. Like this week, we can go ahead and look and see that for the US dollar price, New Orleans 37%, Chicago 38%, Nashville, Vegas, all under 40%. You can buy US dollar, and it's just not one. There's a couple properties there for each of them. Los Angeles, Detroit 43%, Rio 46%. So you got a lot of deals there in US dollars. And the person was making the argument that if you put $1 in, you're going to get like 48 cents out. And we had a good discussion about it. But I wanted to take a look at the total US dollar property sales for some of these cities that we talk about each and every week, and where the deals are at if you have US dollars available. So the first column is the city, second column is the total US dollar property sales for the week. So Chicago had 382 sales in US dollars, and they had a total sales volume of about $4,500. Now, the interesting part is they're a $3 city. For their floor is a $3 city, but the average sale price there was $11.73, and the average mint percentage was 108.12%.
That's incredible. And I mean, that's not just going to be one or two properties, because you have 382 sales.
Right.
So like that means that there's a good amount of higher sized or higher valued properties. That's pretty impressive.
I did something wrong with Rio because there's no way it could be $2.67.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it looks like that's the percentage, 267.
Yep, it is the percentage. I messed up the formula because that was one of the last ones I was doing, rushing to get the show on.
No, this is super interesting though.
So Rio's average sale price is $11.62, and that's another $3 city.
That's really interesting how similar that is, that of like having that percentage. I mean, what I really like seeing is like just San Francisco and Queens, both at like 5,000, as well as Manhattan. Like all of them are actually doing about the same volume dollar wise, but then look at the property counts: 45 for Manhattan, 200 for San Francisco, and over 600 for Queens, to all get to the same amount. I mean, to me, it's the tale of three cities, but the economies there are all strong in their own way. I think that's really interesting to see.
What really blew my mind, though, is Los Angeles moved almost $19,000 this week. They sold 902 properties at $18,927.99 in US dollar sales. And the average property sold for not $3, but $20.98. And okay, yes, it was less than 100% mint, but 70.29%. You're still, that's a lot of traffic. That's a lot of volume. And there's still, over 150,000 properties available in Los Angeles, and they're still moving this kind of volume.
Yeah, I mean, that is a very high number. I don't know, was there an event or something last week? I'm so excited to kind of see how this trends over time, to see like what is normal, because 900 properties of USD sale at an average of essentially $21, like that's good volume and great activity. Like I like to see that.
Yeah, and here I'll share this tab instead. That sort sheet. So if we want to look at I mean, there was an $1,000 sale this week in Los Angeles. You know, a couple $100 sales going on.
Oh, can you do that for well, what was Detroit? Can you do that for Detroit?
Yes.
Because I was curious, like, because that was one, remember, it's a $3 floor, but then, like, oh, I know that.
You know what happened between this for the $2,600 property, which is 77,000% markup? Do you know a story behind this? Because it was a 3,360. That's a burner for sure.
That it is a burner. I actually know exactly what that's for. I mean, I guess you could check the assets. You guys could check it. I believe that's Rick Courier bought a Series 1R.
Okay.
He bought the white mint one for $2,600.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, no, it was a great deal. And so that's the burner for that. That's really funny. So wait, what if you take that one out? What is the average drop to at that point? Because that's an anomaly.
Let's see here.
Just change it to 0. Or like $100 or something. Just change it to something that's not 1,000.
I'll change it to 0. I'll check over here. And then Detroit then drops to $15.
Up? Or wait, was it 20? No.
Oh, Detroit was an average of $21.49.
Oh, okay. So it dropped about 7, but still 13 is better, makes way more sense. I was like, $20 is insane. And so actually, if you look at that, over half of the volume from Detroit was from that burner.
Yeah, give or take. Yep.
Yeah. So, sorry, Detroit. Maybe your future isn't so bright, except if you're looking for burners.
Yeah. So, or did you want me to keep playing on this tab with any other cities you had interest in?
What was LA? Yeah, I'm curious on the LA, like so 1,000.
Yeah. Then if you want to look at the markup.
Bel Air, that was a Bel Air secondary. Yeah, set. Yeah, no, this is super cool.
Yeah. So I thank the individual for having the wonderful debate, not getting mad, and having a good conversation there, because it really gave me the opportunity to make this a priority to get this to everybody that's watching. I didn't have a chance to get all the cities, but that's something I'll work with TML and the UpX World team on to maybe get this so I don't have to pull it manually.
Yeah, this is really interesting. I definitely want to work to set up some metrics like this so we can track it over time and look at trends and stuff like that.
Let's see here. Chicago. What was the other one? Detroit was right there around 40. So even though the deals were there, Los Angeles, it carries that name. And that's actually very interesting that Manhattan can sell 45 properties and hang with, almost all of the cities here that we have listed.
Yeah, like outside of like the anomaly from Detroit and then Chicago or Los Angeles, like it's as good as anybody else.
Yeah. And I didn't look at, hold on, let me see what happens when I turn that property in Detroit back to 0, because I want to see what their average
folder,
mint
you
percentage
can't change
goes
all
to.
of your cities. You have to change them. You have to change it one by one. But don't complain. Back in my day, when we had to adjust our send fees, we had to do it one property at a time. None of this all city nonsense. Y'all have
Yes.
it easy. I spent days changing my send fees.
Oh, that was the issue. All right. So taking out that burner, still Detroit's average mint percentage was
What you've been
317.
fiddling with? Jeez.
317% is what Detroit's.
It's still really good.
Yeah. So as much as everybody complains about these cities, we're going to go.
Well, and again, you can't just go, well, if you put in $1 today, you can only get X amount out now. That isn't how any of that works, because no one should be putting in to just pull it out. Like, what's the point? You're buying it for future value, and the people that are selling aren't necessarily selling anything at a loss to them. If they earn 100,000 in UpX and interest and then sell that at 40%, it's still profit to them, because it's just free interest. So it's not at all one-to-one like that. You can't look at it like that. That's not how the economy works.
Yeah. And looking at the differences here, Rutherford, Manhattan still leading the way between the US dollar floor for their city and the floor in the UpX price. And then Detroit and Rio, easiest places to buy UpX and sell for $3.
Nice.
But as we can tell that if you want to sell US dollars, Los Angeles might actually be the market. And that's about a 50%. Their UpX floor is $7,999 and their US dollar floor is $4. But as you can also see, it just wasn't a bunch of floor activity either. There were definitely properties at different values, $100
the
transactions.
average was $20, right? So the average is like 5x the floor.
Right.
So yeah.
And that's good that you can 5x the floor and have 900 transactions.
Yeah, I mean, it's tremendous. Like, and I mean, yeah, it is the under mint selling, obviously. Like, it's obvious from the numbers that you're selling 5x the floor and you're 70% of mint, right? Because normally if there's a heavy floor sales, those are usually at a pretty high percentage markup, just in the nature of what they are. So I don't know.
I feel we need a little music for tip of the day, but tip of the day, when you buy a new property in a city, it automatically sets send fee at the default. Now, whatever you have all your other properties set at that city.
That is correct. It's super annoying. It should just be a setting that you can change your default send fee.
Yeah, that would be a great addition to features that, hey, you know, when purchasing a new property, automatically set it to default, lowest, highest, or custom. It should pop up.
Yeah.
Or
sure.
Yep.
It is really annoying.
Yep. So 30-day change, you know, US dollar floor looks to be stabilizing over 30 days. UpX, not a lot of movement over the last 30 days. Nothing really jumping out on this slide. 12-week change, UpX still pushing up at a rapid rate other than Manhattan, Rutherford, not much of a change there. US dollar still dropping in Rutherford over the last 12 weeks. Las Vegas, Oakland seeing 20% drops. Other than that, pretty stable. And the 6 month US dollars ugly in Manhattan, Rutherford, San Francisco down 16%, Oakland down 20%, and then everything else is pretty stable. 50% gains in UpX floor in a couple of cities.
Yeah, that's the Rutherford, Arlington, Dallas gang. And Vegas is in there too. It's crazy. I'm holding till the UpX becomes the one world currency. Those are some diamond hands, brother.
Yes, they are. So here's the cheapest markup percentages per the cities. Nothing really exciting. Maybe we might make this slide something we check in on every once in a while, not a weekly thing. What you think of there?
Yeah, we might. Yeah, maybe we can do a rotation of content.
I think this is a keeper, though. You always want to see the city floor UpX price and the correlating markup percentage of it.
Yeah, it is always fun to see it, but
look at San Francisco. They're at 711%.
yeah,
Creeping up
I don't
there.
know. I kind of like I get skeptical because I think we need like the average of like the bottom 5 or something. Because like one property, like it could still be wildly different between like two or three properties. But anyway.
Yeah. Bottom 5 cities: Detroit, Rio, Chicago, Buenos, and Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo.
Buenos is down 11%, and their UpX floor. Sao Paulo's down almost 10% on their US dollars. There's $3 cities: Detroit, Rio, Sao Paulo, 310 at Chicago, and 334 at Buenos Aires.
Drifter, it'll never be 1-to-1 UpX to USD.
And then going back 6 months, Detroit's up almost 37% on their UpX floor. Rio's up 15%. Chicago's up only 8.89%, and they're down 18% on their US dollar. Buenos and Sao Paulo weren't around 6 months ago. So we kind of touched on this earlier, the US dollar markup percentage floor. A lot of deals: Chicago, New Orleans, Nashville, Vegas, all under 40%. And then everybody else: Los Angeles, Detroit, Oakland, Rio, Queens, and Chicago, all under 50%. Sold out. Dallas, Los Angeles moved up a percentage. Los Angeles is still only 75% minute out.
Better than Nashville. I didn't realize Nashville was so bad.
Yeah. Nashville's such a great location with so much going on. Interesting.
Yeah, but we're Midwesterners. Like, if you're from one of the big cities.
True. Las Vegas coming closer and closer to 90%. We got to get it to 90% before we hit Las Vegas Genesis week, so we can have more minting of Las Vegas.
Right.
Queens and Detroit moved up a percentage. Queens finally broke into the 90% bracket.
Joshua wants to know if we're doing neighborhood rankings every week.
Maybe.
I like the neighborhood ratings.
So do I.
That could be interesting for sure.
Yeah.
Is that content you would like to see, Joshua?
If that's what you want to see,
like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, and we will get that to you.
Yeah.
Unminted properties, 362,273. Chicago sold 7%. Queens sold 3%. Poor Los Angeles. They sold 2,200 properties for only 1.38%.
I mean, that's a lot, though. 2,200. That's a pretty good clip, considering that they also did 900 USD sales alone. I mean, that's a lot of volume going through there.
Yeah, a lot of volume.
Only 84 left in Sao Paulo.
Yeah. Let's see, our transactions still minting. Nothing.
No. Over it.
And we'll figure out the rotations for some of these slides.
Porto makes me hot. You get it, Rob.
All right. Now look at that. You ask and you shall receive. We'll look at the neighborhood rating leaderboard. I'm here to make our listeners happy.
You clicked on the wrong thing and that came up and you went with it.
Nuh-uh. I had that's on a totally different screen. I have the slideshow up on one monitor. This is up on another monitor, and you're on another monitor.
All right. So. Well, make it bigger so we can read it. I need a damn microscope.
There you go.
There we go.
So Century City still leading the way. It's a very small neighborhood, but definitely developed. Playa del Rey, I have some properties there, some nice properties.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I was surprised. Look at Manhattan. We always knock Manhattan for, not really having a community built around it, but Chelsea's got it going on. They're ranked number 5 overall.
That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that they have like
I mean, Howard Beach is a pretty organized community, and
Howard Beach is a very organized community, but they're in Queens. They're not in Manhattan.
right. And Midtown Terrace is a very organized community.
I mean, most of the top ones are organized communities. I'm just saying
Yeah.
the Manhattan Chelsea, I've never heard of it. It's not to say that it's not, but feels more like it just is built up because people like Chelsea. Maybe there was, some, I don't know, other stuff in it.
Well, just because you didn't hear of it doesn't mean they're not rocking it.
I mean, obviously, they're on this list, but if I haven't heard of it, I don't know. It can't be that big because we hear about all of the big nodes in communities, but again, it doesn't mean that they can't have like a stealthy, like underground, like maybe they all live in Chelsea and they have they meet in person. Dang, dude, is Alamo Square number 25? Get out of here.
They dropped down. They dropped down because we got to get back on organizing there. And somebody did leave for another community.
Dizzy.
But look at that. So first place, Century City, 13.351, but all the way down to
Built-around City to San Francisco.
Down to 12.882. I mean, that's not much of a drop from number 1 to number 25. And depending on how you do it, okay, that's what I need only.
So look, 7-11. I'm just trying to see out of the top 25, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the top 25 out of San Francisco. I mean, that makes me pretty happy. Soma, that's interesting. I'm really surprised to see Soma there.
Yeah.
All right, let's see LA. We've said for a long time that LA, I think you got to click out of it, is 1, 2, 9, 19. Only 4 though. Only 4 in the top 20.
Yeah.
So San Francisco better? What about Chicago? What's Stockton? What city is Stockton?
California, I thought. I was actually surprised here.
Only 1 in the top 25.
Yeah.
Where? Oh, Queens. I think Queens has a bunch.
Queens does. Well, not as many as I thought.
Not as many as San Francisco. What is it? The hell is this?
I don't know.
Oh, did we just discover the next city?
I don't know.
What is Stockton? Y'all. What about Rio? LA?
Looking at Rio.
2.
313. Yep.
2 out of top. Dude, God, get it, San Francisco. Makes me happy. Who else might I have? What Las Vegas?
No, nobody in the top 25.
Dang. Fresno. No, what was next to Fresno?
Bakersfield.
No, it started with a C.
Clovis. But
Clovis.
that's part of Fresno. They don't have an independent to it.
Exactly. 2 tier 5s coming for FSA, possibly. Stockton is not that far from Fresno. I would love to see another Fresno expansion. That would make me so happy. I secretly have a love-hate relationship with Fresno.
But they got such big properties out there. I like big properties, and I cannot lie.
It's in China? I don't feel like we're talking about the same place.
No. 12/21/22 for Detroit. All right. You satisfied there?
Yeah, so is San Francisco the champ?
Looking like it.
Most in the top 25?
Looking like it.
See if there's any like other big repeats. Dang. Get it, San Francisco. San Francisco treat. Better believe.
Ding, ding. All right. So they had a Block Explorer sale going on. Did you jump in on any of those?
I didn't. And I kind of sad that I didn't because they are pretty cool, but I'm sure I'll get some on the secondary market. Yeah, I totally just missed it and forgot to register. And then I just couldn't be bothered.
So in my opinion, I thought the Mystic Creature Block Explorer was the coolest out of the three, but it was the most common. There were 500 of those made. They had a Raindrop Mushroom for 300, and then they had the Blush Blossom Block Explorer at 150.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I usually like those sales. And honestly, I tell people, I mean, that is probably the best time to buy UpX because that Block Explorer will be worth
way more
potentially. Yeah. I mean, and those ones were all really good.
Yeah, they were solid Block Explorers. Yeah, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 UpX that you got with the Block Explorer. So pretty awesome. If you got one, congratulations. Where do you price them on the secondary market price wise? Because I know we have. Do you take into consideration the quality of the way they look and the images? Because you have some that are 500, 300. You know, you have these denominations before, but some of them are just like meh, and these look pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an aesthetics component. I mean, when we look at things like the Chicks, Miles B. Chain, like some of those, to me, by default, just make them worth more because of that cool factor. And these, I think, have a little bit of that. They're pretty interesting. I like the kind of like the blocky base style of it. It feels like a game piece almost.
Yeah.
And I like that analogy a lot because I see Block Explorers in that capacity as a game piece.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, they're pretty nice.
Yeah. I'll definitely be looking at those on the secondary market. I wasn't lucky enough to be in queue to get one. I had days to wait.
Days.
Just like the ultra rares. Master Builder Phase 3 going on now. And
Phase 3.
Yep. And I love this. And I don't know if I love this. I just think it needs to just open up to people being able to open up their own meta ventures now with these things.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because here's the thing. I'm real excited about all of the things, all of the user generated content that's going to come. But like from an outdoor, or what do they call it now?
We'll get to that. But the map assets.
Map assets. Yeah. Like all these things. Okay. So they have ornaments. What's the utility really? Like the points, the community points, competition points. I mean, that's interesting, but pretty minimal. So for me, I'm really less about how much UGC can we pump out and where can we add value to the existing or upcoming UGC.
Now here's the interesting part too that I see, and here's, I guess you want to call it a cheat code. So you got to Wednesday, April 19th to submit everything. And you get a Master Builder badge. You don't have a Master Builder badge.
What?
Yeah. So you didn't realize that there was a badge involved in this?
No, dang it. So I need to go put together something.
So, a community vote to determine whose structure design will permanently reside in Upland, and this is for Arlington, Rio, Porto, and Sao Paulo.
That's super cool.
Contest winners will be awarded the prestigious Master Builder badge, along with 1 Spark and 100,000 UpX. So 1 Spark, you can go anywhere from a little over $400, $600 to acquire when they have Spark sales. 100,000 UpX, that's $100. So, you're looking at a prize there, of anywhere from $500 to $700
Yeah,
plus a badge. And I know how you like badges.
I do. I love the badges.
And all it takes is Googling or looking at Redfin or Zillow or whatever for design really cool houses in these cities, then finding somebody on Blender and spending $100 or $200 and you still come out ahead. Cheat code.
Assuming you win, though, that's not a guaranteed win.
No, but yeah.
Like we're talking about, if 20 of these people do it, only one of them's going to be happy with your advice.
That's true. But the person that won has been like, I heard that on the UpX podcast. They were right.
Yeah.
And then 19 people are like, I hate too stupid to win.
Right?
But that's what you get. I'm too stupid to win. Come on now.
D-Tech's going to get it. D-Tech is freaking insanely good.
Yes.
So I believe that. Yeah. Save your money. Honestly, like, unless it's your thing.
Right.
Make a cute house and I'll vote for it. Done. Usinate. I make you a cute house.
All right. Easter egg hunt. Did you partake in the Easter egg hunt during Easter?
Yeah.
No.
No. That's a fun graphic, though.
Yeah.
Man, somebody figured out how to use Midjourney.
And they headed across 10 cities in Upland.
Yeah, I saw it happening. It was cool for sure, but no, I just didn't have time.
Okay. Those are always fun. They had the challenge leaderboard. They have rewards going on. They had the Golden Bunny Egg Block Explorer, the Chicken Egg Block Explorer, and the Frog Egg Block Explorer.
That's pretty cool.
And this year's chicken egg looks nowhere close to the chicks that you love.
No, the last year's chicks were legit.
This one looks too boxy for my liking.
Yeah, again, their latest like artistic phase is like blocky game piece design.
Yeah.
Remember like the first like however many had like whatever their weird aesthetics were. There was like all the first ones had this really specific aesthetic from Upland, and they're terrible.
but they are vintage and collector's editions.
Them. I absolutely love them. They're like the terrible ones before they realize that they should make good-looking block explorers.
Yeah. All right.
I did it for the frog. Looks like Pepe.
So they have wearables going on. You could buy some wearables.
Yeah, this is huge.
Now, you said you were passing, so did you pass?
I mean, I bought 1 box, but here's the thing. Like, wearables is a really interesting expansion, especially with their partnership with Ready Player Me. Like, if you can take these wearables from Upland and then go play another game with it, and then somebody goes, whoa, that's really cool. Where'd you get that? And then they're like, Upland. That's an amazing opportunity, to expand. But I don't know if that's how it works. And honestly, this just isn't my style. So I didn't go really hard on these because I don't know that I would wear this.
Yeah, I bought 3 commons and 2 epics. And I did find it interesting. Usually you see common, rare, epic, but for some reason Upland flipped it around to common, epic, rare.
Huh. I don't know if you saw on Facebook, they were asking if there was a property, if there was a collection set higher than Ultra, what would you call it? Which I was like, I answered legendary for the record, but then I was like, they couldn't do that. their white paper actually states that the highest multiplier would be 3x.
Right. But there's only one collection out there with the 3x, and that's the Curator.
Yeah. RIP.
Yeah, but they do have a lot. They do have a lot of high 2.9s. But white paper isn't, the 10 Commandments carved in stone.
Kind of, though. Like if you're basing your economy on a set of base
Parameters,
principle, right? Like, I mean, I guess they could put it up for a community vote.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, I didn't go super hard into this, but I definitely wanted to get, some of the first collectibles for your first wearables for your avatars.
Right. That's kind of how I felt. What has better future value, wearables or legits? Wearables. To me, I mean, for me, it's wearables. It already has some semi-interesting utility. Legits really don't.
Well, what utility does the wearable have? What do you do with your avatar?
I mean, it's a decoration. It's just like why block explorers are good, because you can equip it, right?
Baseball cards don't have utility, but yet still people collect it.
Yeah, again, I'm not saying that they're not collectible. Obviously, they're still collectible. But if I had to invest in one versus another, I'd invest in wearables before I'd invest in legits. I think the upside of wearables is significantly higher than legits.
Nah, I'm just messing with you. It just really depends if they have any functionality coming to legits here in the future.
They would need some big functionality.
Absolutely. Map asset manufacturing is here. So outdoor decor has had its name changed to Map Asset Manufacturing. There's requirements. Definitely read the article. It is on the Upland Me events page so you got to check that out, see if you meet the requirements there. You got to have a minimum of 5 Spark. You have to be ready to share a manufacturing plan with map asset 3D model names and descriptions. Got to be KYC, got to be Uplander, can't be an Alcatraz, must agree to pay venture dues. Meta venture name can't have the word Upland or any other IP in it. And then the applicant must agree to capacity limitations per factory size as shown in the chart below. The applicant acknowledges they will not be able to request a factory move later, which is interesting which is fine. But yet at the same time, I know it was a hassle for the Upland team to move people's factories, but also they rolled it out with that and then came out with the bigger factories without even informing the beta people about it. So I take that as kind of a dig. But also as kind of you need to plan and pay attention.
Why is it a dig? I mean, they let us change it because they didn't disclose it. And now they're like, you have all the information. We're not moving it anymore.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
And the most important part is you must have a fully constructed factory structure at the time of submission. So it can't be in the works. You can't be building. You can't, it has to be built. Now, we did a video back in the day that says, don't build a factory because it's pointless. And now if you built a factory, you might be able to have some good sales off of it.
Nah, I stand by what I said.
You do?
Yeah, because here's the reality. You can buy a factory right now cheaper than you could have built one for. So, yeah, I stand by it.
You stand by, don't build a factory?
I got it, Johnny. Jeez. Why are you blowing? I'm on. He's calling. You're in the audience. What do you want me to put you on?
Isn't he at work? So he doesn't have to work?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, geez, all he had to do was message me for a link.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
So speaking of that, if anybody wants to hang out backstage, we got a couple.
I just ignored. Sorry. I didn't want to interrupt the flow. I was gonna get to it.
11 stuff.
Yeah, he got the auctions up.
Oh.
Which fine. 1111. If you go to 1111nft.gallery, I'm totally at work. The auctions are up for Epic 6. Go get your bids in before 11 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow. And if you have the highest increase bid at each of the pyramid levels, you will get a free array piece from that artist. And those artists do include people like the one and only God of Pixels, More Cheese, the master of ceremonies himself, Marjuta, moi, and a bunch of other really cool people. So go check that out. I forgot so many people in that. I would have had to like rattle off like 100 names. So I'm real sorry if I didn't mention you.
Yeah. So Upland Manufacturing. The question is, though, do you get a preference if you already have a factory up and running and you want to get a second factory up and running?
I don't know. See, like that's the other thing. And this is like, it wasn't like don't build any factories. Like if you wanted to build a factory, that's fine. But like building dozens of factories was definitely dumb. Still dumb. Like we've yet to see a reason to build massive amounts of factories. Like they're going to select a handful of people for these manufacturing ones, and you only can use one factory. It's not like once you get approved, because I was of the mindset like once I get approved, I could just like manufacture it as many manufacturing plants as I have.
Right.
Like, so like once we realize like that's not it, you're not going to need 15 factories because you're not going to be able to run 15 factories. Like, and Upland's not going to approve that. I mean, most people, I mean, think of how many things they'll have to approve for everyone to at least have one before they give you a second one.
Right.
Because it way more benefits Upland to have more than one person having many.
Right. And there is a lot of people that have 5 spark or more. So, I mean, you're looking at, I'm trying to find the actual number of how many people have 5 spark or more.
Yeah, I saw those. Honestly, good on them. I mean, I feel like it's kind of weird, but I think the point is they don't want people that only have like 2 spark, because then they can't really build anything either. And so the likelihood of them keeping the full 2 spark in the factory at any time is low. But
yeah, I mean, you're still looking at once you get to, you have 2,532 people that have 5 spark. You have 2 people that have 4.99. You got 3 people at 4.98. So you still got 2,500 people that could potentially apply for this.
yeah.
All right, ultra rare property giveaway. So they had a competition going on for ultra rare giveaways again, and then you also could register for sales. I waited for days. I actually got one, the 8.4 million one property. It got down to like 14 minutes before somebody bought it. I thank God, because I was like, oh man, this is gonna stink. Having to come up with 8.4 million UpX.
Daddy Dizzy, where you at, boy? Yeah, I didn't get anything either.
Q2 roadmap. Upland changed the way that they are doing the roadmaps now. Instead of doing it at the end of the quarter, they're doing it at the beginning of the quarter. Nothing too shocking or revealing going on here for Q2. Pretty much standard
I don't know
stuff.
about that. I was shocked at the carts.
Oh yeah, you can manufacture carts. So you're right.
Mean, yeah, that was really shocking to me. And if they're really actually going to bring out cafes, that's very interesting to see how that's going to work. Yeah, what else? Yeah, I felt like there was a couple things that kind of got. I was like, oh, okay, well, we'll see.
If they're really going to come, how long have they been teasing cafes though? We've heard cafes since like spring of 2020.
I mean,
And
they
like
seem pretty
every
confident about it. They have the 3D avatars. Remember, the Merengue, they already demoed the Merengue like spatial area. So
right
they already have that tech built. All they need to do is change it, the parameters, and set up it. Yeah, no, it's already built.
2026. Okay, I'll see it when I believe it.
I bet it's there by Genesis.
Oh, ooh, what if it's not?
No, we're not playing this game. Move on.
Why not? Have some fun.
No.
Have some fun.
I'm all right. Thank you.
Scared.
What's next?
No, I still want to talk about cafes. No, cart manufacturing is actually pretty cool. That's the way to everybody's starting to get to move towards building cars, but right now it's go karts.
Well, and you know what I think is amazing is that we have been working on X carts with Poker Hand Node, and they're building we're building a layer 2 cart game already. So the fact that we might be able to transport these carts into layer 1 is insane.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say more there.
No, that was it.
That was it. All right. USD AMA today. What did you take away from it?
That London is coming. No. What did I learn? I mean, I don't think I really took too much new away. The species thing is very interesting, but it sounds like that's going to be a little bit more out. So I don't even know that we'll see the life token revealed, but maybe they'll do life token and then start with plants, because that'd be way easier. Most of the questions were really good. I think the Upland team handled them pretty well. I don't think there's any like stumpers or anything.
Yeah. Okay. And then exhibits at Genesis Week. Show off your metaverse project.
Oh, you know.
I already applied for the podcast. Hopefully they let the UCN members have booths. Yeah. So.
Yep. And I did it for UpX World.
Nice.
Obviously. And yeah, we got the Hyde Park Ninjas might be there. So again, like if you have a community, if you have a development project, if you have anything, you can register for it and then you pay the fee.
Doing second layer work on top of Upland, and it's pretty fair. You know, $200 if you don't have a ticket, $100 if you have a ticket. You have to fill out a pretty short application, link to your project, a description of your project. So
yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So good there. There we go. Stop sharing.
Nice.
Look at that. We got through all the slides in under an hour.
Very good. We actually did an on-time show for once.
Oh no, we'll drag it over.
God.
No. Yes. If you haven't taken advantage of it, we still have buy one, get one free OG anvil. So you get 2 anvils and the first 2 players to do that. Also get a test tube, and I'm keeping that open for the first 15 people. What else you got going on in UpX World?
Oh my gosh, so many things. We got a new alpha build. If you have a PC, you can go download that on the UpX World Discord, and walk around the planet as an Xlander, which is kind of cool.
It doesn't make you dizzy and puke like an old person.
No, it should be a lot better because it's not in that first person view; it's a third person, so it's much easier. The cart ride is still first person, so that's a little bit. But
Zany Socks wants to know, how do they do that?
Go to Discord and go to discord.gg/upxworld and join the Discord server, and it'll be under announcements, and there'll be a link to go to the Googles and download it from the Googles.
Yeah. So, yeah, you opened up a whole can of worms. Everybody's on London, Trenton, Stockton.
I mean,
Paris.
No, that's just Joseph Wilson being nonsense. I mean, I think Paris is probably not too far away. I think that it feels like they want to do a major European release of some kind. But on the AMA today, the town hall, there was some light joking about a major event in London in the near future. So something like that. Nothing for Mac yet. Sorry, Hyde Park. Mac is too difficult without being an official publisher. They really make it a pain.
Really?
Yeah, like because you essentially have to like grant root access to your computer to run these programs, and it's like, anyway.
Wow. All right. I guess you're done talking about Upix World.
Oh, yeah.
You were there. All right. We do got a couple spots backstage. If anybody wants to join us backstage after the show, we'll be available. Hit me up in the DMs in Discord, and I will get you the link. Other than that, make sure you're liking, subscribing, sharing, telling a friend. Don't forget to check out Chokes for Charity. Donate there. First person to get choked out is ThankMeLater. So definitely want to see that great charity that's going to tap out cancer. So definitely want to see that go on at Vegas. I do have to change some of the wording before Upland yells at me because it makes it sound like it's going to happen at Genesis Week during an Upland event. So I do have to
just like ambush the stage. I just like rush this stage, and then one of the ninjas comes out from the back and just chokes me out and just runs me away. Like a whole choreographed thing. That'd be freaking amazing.
That would be awesome. Yeah. Or at the booth. Just come up to you at the booth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Either way. Definitely, if you haven't had a chance, check out a couple of videos. I think this weekend we're going to do another live stream, and got a couple of fun ideas we might go over and might work on, because I know Sunday it's supposed to just rain here and suck. So
I don't know what it'll be here Sunday, but I'm happy to be streaming.
There you go. All right, dragged it out long enough. Everybody. Everybody,
so painful. It was just like the show was over and you're like, do you see that dirt gravel road? And I'm like, yeah. And you're like, what if we just dragged this show down that by its neck? Isn't that awesome?
Made it over an hour. I'm happy now. Everybody be safe, have fun. We'll see you soon in the metaverse.
The Upix Podcast with the property expert. If it's happening in Upland, it's the place you want to check first. With your host who's stupid to win and thank me later. Bringing the strategy, news, and cool charts with all the data. This is Upland, where the metaverse goes down. Genesis, San Fran, to Rio, and all around. Don't miss a week, you never know what they'll say next. It's the Upland Property Xperts, baby, UPX.